one quick message that you want to leave to the community, what would it be?
Just to continue to reach for higher heights. Like, look where we are today. You know, it's amazing. When I first started off in real estate, we didn't have these platforms. We didn't have this collaboration. We didn't have a lot of people speaking about real estate that looked like us. You know, when I was at Dreammaker, you know, we used to drag people in, give presentations. We did it the grassroots way. And then, you know, Dreammaker was the first black brokerage, one of the first black brokerages. Now I see a lot of black brokers out there opening up their firms, doing their thing. So it's good. It's good. You know, it feels good now that 14 years in the business, you know, seeing a lot of people in the business doing their thing makes me smile, because I remember it was just a small group of us, you know, in the pre-construction offices, on the development field, doing rentals and flips. Now it's like all of us are out there. So now what we have to now do is bring it back together and share the information, share the resources, share the knowledge that we've gained. And, you know, like, share the bad experiences as well. We win some, we lose some. You know, we're not going to win everything that we try. And, you know, we just have to be, you know, there to support each other. I win, I lose, you know, I cry, I smile, I go through all the emotions, right? So this is a very tough business. Like I said, we're first generation. We're trying to figure it out. You know, I've given up trying to be perfect in this space and trying to perceive to be perfect. It's perfection is just out the window. It's just, you know, just trying to grow every single day, trying to be better, being respectful to all my peers in the industry, making sure that, you know, not talking bad about anybody, just giving everyone their flowers, because I know how hard it is. And when you're in the game for real, and you're putting your blood, sweat, and tears on the line, and you're putting your own money up, it's very hard to look down on somebody that's trying to do the same thing, because you know exactly what they're going through every day in and day out, right? Especially, you know, the interest rates rising right now. I know every single one of us is feeling it from a personal level, from a business level. So this is a time where, you know, we come together and we just make sure we check in on each other and make sure that we're doing all right, and just share resources. You know, we all need something from each other. We all need some sort of assistance. I'm not one to be big on awards, you know, because I always feel like there's a lot more work to be done, but I'll accept this one. This one was a good one. It came from some good people today. And I'm just happy that I was able to, you know, like, Isaac, thank you very much. I always tell people, you know, without you and seeing you go through what you went through, I would never be where I am, right? In terms of pursuing development. But I do blame you for inspiring me, because now I ask myself, why the hell am I in it? But you know what? I pray every day to God to give me the strength to keep things going, and to keep me inspired, because that's the number one thing, right? Keeping yourself inspired before, like, just waking up every day and just going through that battle is that's a hell of a ride right there. But, you know, I'm happy I got to see this level, and you know, and I'm making the pivot where I feel is necessary. And I applaud every single person here that stuck it out. 64 people at 10 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. That's amazing. And Richard, keep up the good work, man. Keep doing your rapid fire talks and all that MapQuest stuff that you're doing. I love it, man. I support it, and I hope to see you guys next year. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. We actually have a question on, you were talking about interest rates and funding, and your property. So question for Aaron and Isaac, I guess real estate. What was your source of funding on your first multi-unit property?
Multi-unit as in apartment buildings?
I guess in commercial funding. Let's call it commercial financing.
Where's the question? I can't see it. I see another one here. Can you repeat the question, sir?
So what was your source of funding for your first multi-unit property or commercial property?
Okay, my first source of funding was TD Bank back in 2009. And my interest rate at that time was 5%. So I started off with high interest rates, guys. So, you know, as long as the numbers work and the deal makes sense, you know, don't be afraid about the interest rates. Just make sure it works within the deal. So I got an 80% mortgage from TD. I had to come up with 20% down. I was able to get a 10% vendor take back, and I brought 10% to the deal. So that's how I did my first multifamily deal.
Amazing. Isaac?
Yeah, back then they had a 40-year amortization. I was fortunate to structure a nice zero down deal, 40-year amortization, 6.99%, and got me into the multi-unit game, and just build from there. So with the rates going up to where it is now, it's doesn't seem high for those that was playing a game almost 15 years ago. It's just a higher prices, all right, but the rate is sort of relative to the industry.
Thank you for that. And I guess for Latrice, Ashley, and then Shaq, in terms of the one quick piece of advice you would offer to everybody here. Or that you would leave
I'll
with.
go ahead. I think kind of what Aaron touched on, but collaboration over competition is definitely something you'll hear me say all the time. So much so that, I love community and I love helping people. And that was the reason that I started the Modern Agent Academy with my business partner, was because when I got in the industry about almost 10 years ago, I started as an assistant and then became licensed, but there was not many people who looked like me. And then also, if there was no sense of community with those people. I felt really isolated and alone and had to figure out a lot of things on my own. So I'm definitely into collaborating with other agents, other entrepreneurs, all of that. I love that. And just to be teachable. Like, I'm mentoring agents, but I never claim to be the perfect agent. I'm learning every day. Every transaction is different. Every person's, situation is different. And I'm really transparent with the agents that I am mentoring, because I never want them to think that I'm going to have all the answers. I pride myself on telling them that I'm learning new things every day, and that's going to make me a better agent. So I think really being teachable and collaborating with other people are my takeaways for my advice.
Okay, hit us up, Ashley.
Yeah, I think there's been so many gems that have been dropped. I guess the last words I would say, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure, which is one of my favorite quotes. But essentially, we all have greatness within us. And I think regardless of what it is that you want to accomplish, if you can believe it and you can visualize it, I really believe that you will start to attract it. So really just going out there, being in the right state of mind, being positive, and really just visualizing your success, and also just believing it, and surrounding yourself with the right people is really what's going to get you closer to your goals. And I can personally say that, writing out your goals or having it in front of you, it works. I don't know exactly how, but it just works, right? And you'll ask anybody that's been successful. I'm sure if you ask people, these amazing leaders that are on this panel right now, they've all been able to visualize what it is that they want, right? Or that end result, regardless if they know or if they knew how they were going to get there. So I think the biggest piece is really just having that vision, regardless of, who supports you, who doesn't support you. And a lot of times as an entrepreneur, your friends, family are not necessarily going to be your biggest supporters right off the bat. So you really just have to be determined and really have to have that vision to say that I don't care if people believe in me or not, I'm going to make this happen. Because I can definitely say when I started in crypto back in 2016, people thought I was crazy. But now people are knocking on my door to learn more. So it's like, as long as you have that vision, people see that consistency and people respect that consistency as well.
All right.
Shaq, last
Yeah, I'll leave it off with I guess 3 key points, similar to what I was talking about in my acceptance speech. As a community, we gotta definitely focus on the knowledge more than anything. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to put yourself in an environment where you're able to learn and accept advice from other people. Surround yourself with the right people, just like Ashley said. Let us create the right behaviors. Number 2, to make sure that we're not only obtaining wealth, but keeping it, because it's not about how much money you make, it's how much money you can keep, and how much money you can pass down for generations to come. And, speaking of that word generation and generational wealth, it's studied shows that generational wealth usually only lasts us about 3 generations, but let us strive to plan for 4 generations and 5 generations ahead of time. I'm actually reading this book. Like, I'm a big firm believer in reading this book called Family Wealth, right? And it's really good. It's from like a lawyer, estate planner. It talks about different communities and what they do to pass on wealth. But I encourage you. It's by James Hughes Jr. For those that want to look up that book, very, very powerful of understanding what it takes to create wealth for a generation to come. And understand, guys, we have the superpower of being Black, strive for excellence. And last but not least, make sure that we take action within our community, because you have some trailblazers that have been paving the way, that are some of the award recipients today, and some of the people around you who've been paving the way for years. Let us now take action to continue to pass on baton and continue to grow together. So I'll leave that with you guys.
So Danielle's question is, how did you spend your youthful days? What are some ways youth in this generation can invest in themselves and be an impact and better their future?
I can start off by answering that.
Okay, let's go.
So my journey when I was young, 20 years old, I never went to parties, never went to clubs. I had a dream of owning real estate. So what Richard said today, Richard, you're speaking straight to me today. Get yourself into a career path, get a 9-to-5, ignore all the noise. Social media tells you can retire by 19. It's impossible. You need to build up your income. You need to build up your credit. You need to then pursue a business or pursue acquiring assets, and that takes time. So like what Shaq said, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. So I had a goal by 25, I wanted to own a property. So I was saving my money every single day, saving my paychecks. And until I got a mentor, I was able to fast track that. So seek mentorship. And I was able to purchase my first property, which was a triplex at the age of 22. And then by age 25, I was able to own 11 multifamily apartment buildings. And that's all because, my friends always told me I had a lot of time. I should go out with them, go to Caravana, go to all these things. And I said, no. And now I'm 36 years old, and they said they wish they listened to me. So, spend all your time in your young days, because you have the most energy, you have the most disposable income. You can take a couple of hits on the chin because you're young and you have time to recover if you make any mistakes. And it's not timing the market, it's timing the market. So if you got into the market at 22 and you turn 32 years old and you still have that property, that's 10 years of having that asset. That asset should double without you actually having to do nothing. So the younger you are, you should be on a path of getting mentorship, saving your money, building your credit, and trying to acquire as many assets as possible. And then seeking, professionals that can help you get into the market with different strategies. So I was able to get a lot of zero down deals when I started. I was able to do a lot of seller financing deals when I started, and I started coming out of a recession. So what's happening now with the high interest rates and being in a recession, that's how I started. And that's when I was able to get the best deals of my life, was in 2009. And I'm seeing the same deals now in 2023. And I'm drooling every single day, excited, because I'm like, this is like 2020, this is like 2009 when I was able to acquire a massive portfolio in a short period of time, because the market was distressed and people are willing to participate with you. So these are the times now as young people, you want to focus and you want to block out the noise. Make your post. This is what I do. I make my posts on social media and I put my phone down. I don't go surfing on this social media during the day. I'm looking at deals every single day. I'm connecting with entrepreneurs. And, Canada's a beautiful country. I would say to people, like, every single day I wake up, I try to find banks that are willing to lend me money, and they're all willing to lend me money because there's great assets here. We don't have, storms or earthquakes or hurricanes or any of those things. We're not in a country where we go through wars, famine, any of that stuff. So we're in a peaceful place where we can go out there and actually build a great quality of life, but it takes discipline. So, I sacrificed my entire 20s from 20 to 30. 30 is when I start to party it up a little bit. But, my first 10 years from 20 to 30, it was all execution on real estate. And that's how I'm able to become a developer today. Took all my assets, sold quite a bit of my portfolio and started buying up land. And that was a start to where I am today. So just sacrifice, and you'll see it through.
Thank you. So let's have Latrice, the last person, and then we gotta close because I know it's getting late.
Well, I think Aaron just killed it. He touched on some of the great points. I mean, for me, my youth, as I touched on, I was a young mom, so I was mom. It took me a little bit longer because of that, took me a little bit longer to, you know, hit the ground running and, for lack of a better word, get my shit together. But I would suggest figuring out it is what you want to do and using your time wisely. As Aaron was saying, like, what you're consuming is so important. So, you know, social media, use it to your benefit, but like when you're using that time, like read, educate yourself on things that, you know, investments and finance, and reach out to other people who are in the industries that interest you and offer to shadow them, ask for internships, like use your time wisely so that when you're ready to implement things, you have the fundamentals and the foundation of what you want to do.
Thank you so much. It's so appreciated. Everybody, from the panelists, from the moderators, from the audience. Is that what we call it here? Yes. From the audience. We appreciate all of you for coming. And, you know, it's so important for us to really elevate our community. That's my mission. Like my mission is to help 1,000 people this year, right? On the path to financial independence, because it's so important. Our community cannot be trailing behind because we don't understand simple financial concepts, right? And then also, not even just that, I think also what's more important that I'm doing is unlearning a lot of the things. Let us unlearn, because you can have, my favorite book that I always recommend to my clients is T. Harv, The Millionaire Mindset. And it said, you can get millionaire status, you can do all of that, but if you don't change your money blueprint, if you don't change all this generational things that has been carrying and pushing you, if you don't change that, you're going to go back to broke. And we don't want that, right? We can't work so hard to make all this money and then be like the lady who won the millions and now she's on welfare. That's a problem, right? Don't win $30 million and then 2 years later, go back on welfare, right? It doesn't make sense, because the next generation needs to see better. You know, it's okay to dream to be a basketball player. It's okay to dream to become a rapper, but there's other things that our young people can aspire to be, right? And we are the representation that they need to see. Okay, so please, if you want to know everything that we're having, whatever we're doing, that means you need to stay locked in the chat right now and fill out the form, because that's how we get your contacts. That's how we communicate. So if your contacts are not on there and you did not really register and you just popped in here because you were, you know, the trailers, you know, sometimes they're trailers that just wait for the Zoom to be dropped and then they come on because they didn't want to register. If you want to lock in, please put your information in the form and we will get. So I'm going to hand it over to my co-hosts and my co-moderators, and they're going to say the last words, and then we're going to say, ciao, Bella.
Yeah, so I just want to throw in some final words as well. You know, Collins and Portia, thank you for doing such an amazing job moderating and you know, even behind the scenes, setting up the schedule. Portia, coming with your ideas to me and stuff like that. And that's what collaboration is, you know, when, you know, things are presented and we find a way to mesh it all together to make so everybody wins, right? And that's what we're growing right now with the Create Wealth Network. You know, day by day, you know, our network's growing, but, you know, we're having these kind of platforms, you know, to make everyone aware and of what we're doing right now. You know, we have this network that we're looking of like-minded people to join us, you know, on this journey, you know, of wealth creation. And as you're already on it, so now it's just a platform, like a hub for us to grow and expand on. You know, we have the Mind Assistance Program and the Treasure Map out here to have a residual income, other source of income, and also, you know, to, you know, Ashley Wright just actually wrote in their Mindset is Everything, right? And that's what the Mind Assistance Program is about. You know, so, you know, I'm grateful. Collins, if you have any final words, mine is just for the forum. Everyone on here, just fill that out, because, you know, if you need to get in contact with Aaron, you know, we could get you in contact with them. If you need to get in contact with Ashley, we'll get you in contact with them. You know, and in regards to, you know, investing and things like that, in the real estate market, there's collaboration. You know, we could break bread. You know, so if there's another realtor that you work with, you know, we could break bread. We can make it happen. Right. So, you know, regardless of what situation you're in, we want you to just get a clear picture of what your dreams, your visions, your goals are. And thank you for everyone who registered, because now we have your contact info. So as we have more platforms, more webinars we're doing, and in-person events that we're doing, we hope everyone comes out and we continue to build from there as well.
I just wanted to add, thank you once again to everyone that shared the event, that attended. Thank you to all our panelists. Thank you to all our award recipients. I ask everyone to continue pushing on, continue pushing, continue dreaming, continue executing. Let's continue to build the community together. Let's be great. And look out for more events. I'd like to thank my co-moderator, co-host, Portia. And I'd like to thank Richard as well. And yes, thank you.
Panelists and our award recipients, we have to make sure we definitely give them that final recognition, right? Because
absolutely,
that's what it is. Yeah, for sure. Right, so thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Be sure to fill out the forms. Be sure to tap in with the Create Wealth Network, tap in with all the professionals that you met today as well. They're all here for a reason. They're all professionals in their own right. So definitely tap into the resources of everybody that you've met and that you've witnessed here today. In regards to the prizes, stay tuned, tap into the Create Wealth Network. Make sure you're following. Prizes will be announced tomorrow. Otherwise, if you don't show up for your prize, I guess me and my wife are going to the CN Tower. There's that. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night. Stay blessed. We will talk soon.
Amazing. This is real Black wealth empowerment. Stay empowered. Let's continue to build. Good night.